If you've always wanted to make guitar playing a career, then this video is for you. There are many ways to make money with the guitar, and I've scoured the internet looking for people who do exactly that, interviewed them, and now made the videos available for you. In this video, I chat with German YouTuber Henning Pauly. Henning creates guitar review videos and releases one every single day. This is an extreme amount of work, and Henning does it with humor and in a way that makes you feel like you're in the studio with him. Now, it's no secret that HP42 takes what he does extremely seriously and is often brutally honest in his videos. This makes Henning a rather Marmite character, but whether you love him or not, he has some amazing stories, some amazing ideas, and many ways to make money with guitars. So let's go over and we'll join Henning in the chat. Hey everybody, welcome to Making Money with Guitars, and this week we're talking YouTube and doing YouTube gear demos and reviews and things like that. And who better to talk to than Mr. Henning Pauly, HP42 himself. Hello, Henning!
Hello. We are doing this for the second time now, people, because Andy messed up with the cameras. Then he lured me into this saying, this is an on-camera chat, and I thought it's about cameras, which is the second time I'm doing this joke, and it's not funny anymore. It was funny a while ago when we recorded this for the first time. So, what are we talking about, Andy? I don't know.
Actually, it was funnier that time because it was kind of ranty. The first time I didn't think you put the effort into it.
Hello, people. Apparently, I'm someone to talk to about guitars.
Yeah, so talk to me about guitars. What is it, Henning, that you do?
I review guitar gear. Guitars and pedals and amps. And then some companies that do gadgety things find me and say, can you review this? And I'm like, yeah, if it's good. And I try to do it in the most honest way possible.
Brutally honest was the term I used, if I believe rightly.
It's not true. Brutally honest would mean that I trash things and I say, don't buy this, it's total shit. You can't turn this into a business if that's what you do. Because if you do that and you say it's total shit, total crap, not worth the money, that company's never going to work with you again. Now, I have done this with companies that needed to hear it, where I had no interest of working with them again. Now, if there's companies where I like the people, I like to work with them, I like their money, I'll still be honest, but I will not trash something. If I have something that's total shit, can I say in your channel? I just said.
I'm going to bleep it every time, it's okay.
Okay. So if something's total or then I will say, look, this isn't good. We're going to have a conversation. Usually takes half a day to talk to everyone and say why I can't make a video, but then I don't make the video. But if it's criticism, because the interface isn't good and I actually think there's better products out there, whatever, I'll say that, and companies know me for it. And it's been a long, long, hard road to get them to work with me, pay me for my services, but not for my opinion. Because that, once you sell that, realistically, you don't have a channel. And there are channels, I'm not going to name any names. We're not naming names, get it like in the 50s. Communist, I'm not naming names.
I'm younger than you, so sorry.
But there are channels who will show anything as long as they get paid. And I know that Andy's gotten some products that I have been suggested from the brand, and we were like, nah, I can't do that. And I know that channels we know have reviewed them and like, oh, this is great, I'm really having a good time. What's the point of that? What's the point of building a rapport with the audience to then lie to them?
Sure. Well, you've covered a whole load of questions that I had quite sort of briefly and on the surface. We're going to go deeper into that, way, way deep.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So let's go all the way back to when you were Little Henning, and Little Henning didn't have a YouTube channel. And then Little Henning had a YouTube channel. How did Little Henning without a channel go into Henning that did have a channel? What happened? That was a really complicated way of asking, how did you start your YouTube channel and why?
Good. Better question. I bought, do you know the brand Harley Benton?
I do. I'm familiar with them.
Okay. They have pedals, which are manufactured by Joyo in China. Mm-hmm. And then they just slap Harley Benton on there, which is good for Joyo because Harley Benton buys like thousands of them, and Joyo can sell thousands of pedals without having to, deal with people that just deal with one guy. And I bought the the Ultimate Drive and the American Sound. And I ordered a compressor, the MXR Red, the red one, the what's it called? Something comp.
Is it the Joyo one, the Harley Benton?
No, I ordered the MXR one at Thomann, and I had some money left, and I ordered the other two just for fun.
Okay,
and they arrived, and I was very blown away by them, and I said, hey, here's a camera, here's a student of mine who can play well, let's make a video about it. And at that point in time, no one gave Harley Benton any screen time really, and if they did, it was beginners or people that don't really know how to film or record, doing like stuff at home, pointing their cell phone at an amp, and then you had shitty demos. So there were no good demos for these, except maybe Shane from In the Blues, who did a couple of Joyo things. And people really liked those two videos. They found them, even though my channel was nothing. And I really just did it for fun. And then people said, these are actually the best demos of those pedals because, well, I have a recording studio. I've been recording albums for years. I know how to record a guitar. And then I said, well, why don't we do more of those? So I called up Mr. Harley Benton. And
how is he?
Mr. Benton
Is he okay?
He's fine.
Good.
He had the Rona, by the way.
Oh.
And he recovered. Hey. And he sent me the other pedals, and then I got in touch with Joyo, and I got pedals from them, and then some other Chinese brands. So for a long, long time, I did like all the Chinese very affordable pedals, and that's how the channel started. People liked what I did.
So would you now say that YouTube and videos are your main source of income?
They're not just my main source of income. They're the only thing I do every day, all day, every day. There's no weekends, there's no Christmas, there's no New Year's. It's literally every day.
So where's, and this is something I've always wanted to ask you personally, where's the motivation behind releasing a video every day?
It's utterly stupid. There's no motivation. It's just, at some point, that's what I did. I don't know why. I don't know how I got into that. Of course, in the beginning, I did it, there was no schedule. I never had a schedule. I released stuff that I had in my hands. And at some point in time, I had a lot of stuff on my hands. I had trade show videos that I did and whatever. I'm like, well, they got to go somewhere. So I just threw them out, and it just turned into, oh, I'm doing this daily now. Once in a while, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock runs past like 2 days ago. I had an upload going, which YouTube wasn't processing fast enough. And I was like, I guess today I don't do a video.
Mm-hmm.
So if that happens, it's not really planned. It's because I might be out and about and I forgot to put one online. Or the video for that day that really had to be out that day isn't, it's a little bit late. And then if it's 3 or 4 hours late, I don't want to release it at 9 o'clock in Germany when people are already doing their TV in the evening. So I chose to just postpone that a day. Mm. But I could easily do 3-4 videos a week and it would be fine. At that stage, though, I would have so much material piling up.
Right. That's a similar number to me. It's just the same, isn't it? You have a constant flow of stuff. Which originally when I began doing this, it was kind of like a guitar player's dream. Like, oh, there's more gear. Oh, more gear. Oh, shower me in gear.
It's not
that, is it?
No, something comes in and you're like, okay, this is work. Yeah. Of course, gear is fun, and some gear is more fun than others. I mean, when a certain guitar comes in and you're really excited about it, or something, but you're not excited about everything. Some stuff it doesn't tickle your fancy. Like, who needs fuzz? Nobody. I mean, we're self-employed, so the thing is, are you going to turn down jobs? No, you're not. So that means when you have a full plate and you're working your ass off, then someone rings you up or writes you a Facebook message, hey, we have these 5 pedals we want you to demo, can you give us a deal? You're going to be like, sure, I'll do it. I don't know when, I don't know how, but you're not going to turn the gig down just because it's more work.
Yeah, then it's nice to hear that you've been doing this a while, and every day, every day we're talking online, and you're like, I've recorded 6-7 videos today, and I'm sat there with my one thinking, what is this guy doing, and how is he doing it? And I guess what is the secret to a high turnover of videos? Is it your menagerie of cameras?
No, we're finally talking about cameras.
Finally, we're in your wheelhouse.
It helps.
Okay, so you make your videos live, right? Mostly.
Well, no, because now people think it's a live stream.
Okay. Oh, goodness.
Which it is.
Okay, your videos are recorded from beginning to end, right? Rather than cut and copying and throwing in things.
It's like the taping of a TV show. So there's multiple cameras, 9 or 10 right now, and they're all connected to a big hub, to a big video system. And my girlfriend Leslie sits in the other room, and she switches the cameras as we go. So and she flies in like a picture-in-picture pedal hanging next to me. This is all done as one continuous recording. And what I have to do later is do the intro, do the slideshow, put the music under, do the produced track, do the indexing at the beginning, saying this and this and this happens there, and I go through the whole video. I might cut out some stumbles, or I might cut out some things where Leslie was on the wrong camera, or where I give her a camera direction, saying, hey, Leslie, can you go on this camera? We don't have to always have this in there. So I go through the video, and I edit the single file. Mm-hmm.
I want to go back, like, people often could look at your setup, the huge array of amps you've got behind you, the gorgeous guitars on the wall. You're talking about a plethora and multitude of cameras and little switches. Many people don't have the luxury of that yet. That's certainly something to aspire to. What about, you said when you started, your first pedal demo was with one camera. And what about, not what you do now because you're so streamlined, but how was it back then? So you just recently hit over 100,000 subscribers. Congrats. Where are you right now?
Thank you. It's my studio.
Yeah, I heard it come out of my mouth. How many subscribers do you have at the moment, Henning?
Oh, apparently today I had 114.
114,000 subscribers. I know that you didn't start charging companies for money until you hit 30,000 subscribers, something we often talk about. What happened before 30,000? So I assume you were still teaching back then, you were still having other things.
Yeah, before 30,000, I didn't charge companies. Mm-hmm. See, at 30,000, I did, and before that, I didn't.
I get it, right. So it almost answers itself, really, doesn't it?
It pretty much, yeah. I was teaching, producing some bands for chump change because no band has money to actually record. But primarily teaching. And before 2006, I lived in Los Angeles and I ran a studio for an ad agency. And for a couple of years, I was actually paid by a record label to produce albums, my own albums. So I did a lot of music for money, like progressive metal and rock and whatever I wanted to do. I got actually a monthly salary to write my own music.
How does that work? Cool. They paid you to make your money, your music?
Well, I was kind of like on retainer, so a record label paid me a monthly salary, write your albums, and once an album was done, we just added up the month, and that was how much money had to be recouped before I got any of the percentages.
You studied music production, I think, and synthesis, if I'm right.
Yes, a double major, music, contemporary writing and production, which is arranging, and music synthesis, which is back then was programming synthesizers and the early days of DAWs and digital audio workstations and sampling. And so I wanted to be a producer, which is kind of what I've turned out to be.
So that is generally what you do. Because I was leading to the question, are you in a dream job? Is this what you wanted to do with your life? But you are still making music. It's just, and that's kind of the purpose of this video series, is to show people that you can play guitar and you can have a career in it. It's just not probably going to be as a rock star.
Well, that's exactly what I always tell people. Do you want to play guitar or do you want to be a rock star? Because it's a big difference. I don't like the rock star thing. And Leslie always laughed when I said, you're dating a rock star. But I did albums that were reviewed all around the world in all the metal magazines, and they all hailed me as the new genius kid in prog metal. But I like doing the job. I like putting the pieces of the puzzle together. I like arranging. I like figuring out the voicings. I like figuring out the instruments, writing the song, putting it together. The mixing, I don't like too much, but I had to do it. It's not just about the rock star. What I do is making music, but I'm making money. And people don't understand that the music that you hear in an elevator, someone wrote. And that gets paid for. Actually, much better than playing on any stage. Music in a video game got written and paid for. Music in Candy Crush got written and paid for. Okay, not just big video games. We're talking about
bleep boop,
any
bleep
kind
boop.
of little jingle.
Just jingles. You and I have both done jingles in the past, and
for years, yes, mattress jingles, all that stuff. Local used car dealers. Fresh food fast from friendly faces. Farmer boys.
Am I going to get demonetized for that?
Alliteration. Fresh fruit fast from friendly faces. Farmer boys.
If you were in a band, Farmer Boys would be a great name for the band. Let's talk YouTube business now. So outside of all the companies that ask you to play their stuff, let's talk about YouTube as a platform and you earning money via being on YouTube. Is it the big pit of money to give to people that people think it is?
Not what we do. No.
And why is that?
I'm very open with what I earn because no one sees this anyway, right?
No, it's on my channel.
Good. No, I meant tax people.
Oh, right.
People think, we can bitch about your videos, we can call you horrible names, and we can say how we would like your videos because we're your director, comment time. Because you're making all the big dough from YouTube. Not with what we do. If you have a funny channel, you're the Jared Dines, the Rob Scallon, you're the Stevie T, the Davey 405, and you get, on average, hundreds of thousands of clicks per video. Yes, you can make good money with YouTube. Let's look at their lives for 1 second. That's primarily the one thing they do, plus merch and other things, but primarily it's YouTube. Which also means they have this immense pressure to have the next video be funny and hit the same kind of brilliance. And then you have to come up with a cool, funny thing to do with a cool, funny reaction, 17 things the audience will not know about you, whatever. All these videos. I couldn't live with that pressure. To come up with the next hit video, it's a lot of pressure to keep the money rolling. I just need to get the next pedal in. Mm-hmm. I need to get the next product.
You're using YouTube as a conduit between the pedal company or the whatever company, let's say pedal company, and the potential customer, and you're the guy in the middle saying, hey, this is what it does. We're now in a more open and critical marketing than it used to be because brands used to place ads in magazines and the magazine wrote about it and they were kind of scared to write bad stuff about it because they wanted the ad to go on. I've positioned myself in the industry and with brands that even in my first email, it's like, I don't do demos. I review, which means I will say what I think. And if you think you can buy my opinion, we're not going to be friends. We're not going to be business partners. That was my first email to Martin from Fender. I'm like, look, you have some good stuff. Don't send me your pedals, they're crap. Stay away with the Acoustasonic because I'm going to rip it a new one, but you have other things that are good. We can talk about those. And we're friends, and I'm working with Fender. You have to make clear where you stand early on. But yeah, that's what I do. So I don't want to just depend on the YouTube income because with gear demos, I don't get a lot of clicks. If I get 10,000 clicks a video, for me, that's quite a bit. I have videos that have 150,000, whatever. I don't get the millions. I won't ever get the millions because that's when you do YouTube as like, I want to go viral. I want to have the funny video. But I think that would require a lot of, it's too much pressure to come up with the next idea. Merch,
peanuts, like cents, literally for me. Patreon, which with doing 7 videos a week on the channel and working on that every day for 10, 12 hours, I can't do extra Patreon videos. I can't do, this is for the if you do 3 a week and then you do 1 for the patrons, that's fine. And they feel like, oh, we're getting a special perk. I literally don't do any extra Patreon stuff. It's like, if you want to support me, please do, but you're not getting extra shit. Which
also,
is
I don't see how that would work as here's an extra gear demo. You know, who benefits from that being a Patreon only special?
Yeah, I mean, you can do other stuff. It could do like a lesson, or you could do a.
Sure.
I literally don't know what. And if I did a video that's actually good, why would I only want limited amount of people to see it? So I don't quite understand that concept. People do, like Harry, for example, does the tabs for his covers. You can only get them in a Patreon video. So if you like the videos, fine. If you want to go deeper, you go Patreon. So for him, that totally works.
Absolutely.
I could record another little video of a pedal, some extra sounds or whatever, only for Patreon. Yes, I could. But then again, it would be quite a bit of work for, I don't know, 100 people to see it, or even less. So, but if you do special Patreon stuff, you can generate some money there. Some channels do that.
I know the answer to this question already, but I'm trying to lead you this way so you can answer it in your own words. People are looking for a piece of gear, and it's just about to be released, or it's being released, and everybody's releasing a video on it. Why do they come to your channel?
But the sweaters. They're funny.
They are, but why does someone come to a specific... Okay, let's not say your channel, but why does someone choose to watch that YouTuber and not that other YouTuber? Or maybe they watch them all, but they have a few favorites. What's the deal?
I could say playing ability, but absolutely not. It's just, I don't think that has anything to do with it. Because most YouTube channels, even the ones with mediocre players, and we all know who we're talking about.
We do.
Ryan. What? Nothing. I mean, no. What? He's a great guy. No, but... that. I love the guy. Well, he showed up to Gear Street, just saying. You didn't.
We haven't talked about Gear Street yet. We'll go on to that in a second. But yeah, so why answer my question, damn it. Why do people watch certain channels?
It's not playing ability. We could say they like the sound they get. That's not, it's the people. It's like you want to hang out with certain people. Like, I can watch you. You're very watchable. And even though some people are great players and they get killer sounds, see, there's 2 kinds of people. People that watch YouTube on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. They're not interested necessarily in that pedal. They're not going to buy it. They didn't come to watch my video about that pedal because they've got money in hand to buy that pedal. They want to be entertained. So they pick the channel where they see a friend, where they see a buddy, they see the guy they want to have a barbecue with. They see, he's silly, he likes stupid sweaters, he likes Douglas Adams, he's got dogs, he's got cats, he's animal friendly. He's a guy I want to hang out with. And then there's the other 2 kinds. The guy that just bought the piece of gear who wants to be told that it's great, who gets pissed off when you say it's not great.
I love those.
And then there's the guy who's actually interested in that piece of gear because they saw an ad, they saw it on another channel, they want more information, they've heard about it, and they're like, oh, I'm really interested in what that does. Mm-hmm. Then you have someone like me who takes a little bit of time to get to it, they get annoyed, or they find a friend. Because they've just come to the channel, they're like, oh, this is a cool guy. I don't know how 10 minutes passed, but I'm having fun. So there's those 3 guys. People looking for validation of having made the right purchase, and they get mad easily. People that want to buy or are interested in the gear and they want the information. And hopefully they get stuck with your personality and hit subscribe. But usually they're not subscribers. And there are people who just enjoy hanging with you. There are people who come to our channels every night. They come home from work, coffee, beer, whatever, and that's just like they're chilling out. That's their daily soap opera. I've
been with you at trade shows. I've seen people approach you like you are the rock star. They love Henning. And it's a really nice thing. And I know personally that as we're talking as friends that you have a very big heart and you're very caring. But when it comes to your job, you can not be mean, but there is a Simon Cowell aspect of what you do. Because, as you said yourself, sometimes companies don't want to work with you because of your honesty.
Jeremy Clarkson.
You're Jeremy Clarkson.
That is one of my models for what I do.
Right, got
it. Top Gear. Because Top Gear is entertaining. I don't like cars. I couldn't give less of a shit about horsepower or brake. I don't even know terminology.
Pedals.
I don't know. I don't care about cars. But I love Top Gear and the Amazon version. Because those guys are highly entertaining. And they're talking about something I really don't care about. And they're highly entertaining. But here's the thing. They've made it very clear throughout the years and early on. We will say what we want to say. Mm-hmm. And they've created a vehicle that has so much power that companies kind of don't have a choice other than to be on it. You have the new BMW, BMW knows that one of those guys, if it gets into the wrong guy's hands, they will say, this isn't good. And they might compare it to something else, might be unfair, but they say, this is better. This might come out of it. It's an honest show. Yes, are they being paid? Actually, on the Grand Tour, they said none of them ever had an endorsement for like clothing or watches or whatever, which is like, what? They've couldn't. They couldn't. They could have made a lot of money taking these endorsements. No, they haven't. I wouldn't have been mad if they had. But they're honest. They will trash something, or what I do, kind of gently critique and say, this is great, but the gearbox just sucks. Whatever. And that's what I take as my model kind of for what I do. Honesty with some character while you do it. And they haven't wrecked the relationships with any of the brands. They probably wrecked it with Tesla when they talked badly about a Tesla. But you know what? A couple years later, Tesla sent them another car. And they made a joke out of it by writing it with all the lawyers, telling him what he can and cannot say. But still, even with all the stuff that happened before, Tesla knew whatever they would say about the car, it's advertising.
I've asked a few people, and I always ask this when I interview people, about the mental health side of doing what it is that you do. Because like many who do this, you're stuck in a room day in, day out. And I've seen on Instagram that you post photos and videos of table corners, which means you must be going out somewhere. And also the way that you get there is, see the logic there. The way that you get there is often with a funny vehicle with one wheel, or maybe some sort of Segway kind of thing. So I know that you get out into the wildlife at least. Is that something?
Only in the last year.
Okay, so
I've bought a lot of like electric scooters and stuff, and one wheel, the Z10, which I call the ZD, and I bought the one wheel skateboard thing called One Wheel, which I call Body Board Face. So when you open up the app, you have to name your board. It's called Body Board Face. And I have the cheaper Segway from Ninebot and all that stuff.
So you have these things. Is it a conscious decision to use these things to get out and go and do something outside?
Yes, because it gets me. I take trips with Leslie in the summer, and we'll do an hour or two roaming around, the towns and stuff on the little pathways and along rivers, and it gets me out of the house, because otherwise I'm in here all day long. But I've only been doing that since last summer. I'm doing okay mental health-wise. Sometimes I'm thinking, do I want to do this? Is this burnout? I haven't had, since I started doing this, I need to get out of bed. No, I like to get out of bed. I like to say because doing the job is fun. Sometimes is, sometimes isn't. There's two things. Talking to companies that want to work with you is validating. It's nice when you work with Yamaha in Line 6 and they're like, we like what you do. I'm like, well, I'm going to bitch about this. They're like, you do you. That's nice. But those people right there, that's validating. Most of my comments are pretty evil. You do a live stream, and in the live stream, it turns around. It's only the positive people, and it's heartwarming to see who cares about you and how many people care about you. It's frightening when you actually think about it. Going to trade shows is insane because the people that say, you bald-headed Nazi bleep at your leisure, they don't walk at you at the trade show say, dude, you need to take lessons, you suck. No, they write this in the anonymity of the interwebs. They don't show up at the trade show. At the trade show, you get people wanting selfies and hugging you and saying, oh my God, you mean the world to me. I bought this because of you. Me and my wife, we watch you every night. That means a lot. Or when I just did that contest for I Am Human, not contest, like a challenge where people were supposed to just finish the song. And I get like 50 people sending me the song, and they wrote around the music I created. And I get to meet in videos, I get to see all my fans at home using gear that I recommended, and I see who they actually are. And I see them making music, sending it to me. That's the best feeling in the world. I mean, knowing that there are people who care about what you do. I think when I know a new guitar arrives, that doesn't get me out of bed. I need to make an overdrive demo, doesn't get me out of bed. Having to edit a video doesn't get me out of bed. But knowing that there are people who are waiting for my video on a certain product before they buy, and knowing that people laugh, knowing that people, when they watch the Healthcare Hero song or something, said, oh, this brought it here to my eye, and I really like what you do. That, I think that validation from day one makes me get out of bed and just do it. And sift through all the crappy comments, just try to put them away. I think it's the viewers that keep me wanting to do this. And the money. Money also.
I like money. Let's say that I am a guitar player. There's a big statement. Let's say that I'm a guitar player thinking, okay, I want to do this as a job. I love guitar so much. I want to do this 24/7. What do you say to that person who's thinking of doing what you do?
Don't do it.
Why not?
Because I'm doing it.
Okay, let's assume there's enough viewers to go around everybody, okay? Enough personality types that certain people who don't click with you and don't indeed click you need to click somebody else, but no one's filling that hole.
You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, why in the world don't you click with me? What's your problem? You don't like animal-friendly people? What in the world is wrong with you? Okay, you don't like good guitar sounds? Why you even watch YouTube? What in the world is your problem that you want to click on the new guy's channel? Go there. He doesn't even know what he's doing. The lighting is all off. He doesn't know how to freaking record. Why are you watching that guy? Why do you want to watch this guy and not me? What is wrong with you? That's what I would say. But you actually want an answer to your question?
Okay. An answer to the question would be wonderful. It's kind of the one of the key points of this conversation, some might say.
I would actually say don't do it. Because when I started doing it, 2012, I think, 13 maybe, gear demos on YouTube were there. But they were coming into their own after 5-6 years of YouTube being around. Now there's a lot. So yes, are there different folks for different strokes or so? I don't know what you say. Totally, but it'll be tough to compete with all the channels out there unless you do something extremely different and extremely well. It's going to cost you a lot of money. If you want to do it well, and I really suggest doing it well, with cameras and all that stuff. And if you're a guitar player, but you don't know all that other stuff, there's a humongous learning curve with lighting, microphoning, shotguns, live streaming, editing, hard drives, all that stuff. It's a humongous learning curve and a lot of money. But let's say you're not turned off by that. There's years and years where you cannot ask for money. I mean, yes, 30,000 subscribers. That's when I started charging $200 a video. Okay, so it's a lot of work to get there. If your goal is to turn this into a business, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Then you're not going to get there. Because you're going to say, I got to charge, I have to charge. Well, but you have nothing to show for. You got 2,000 subscribers. There's channels with 100,000 subscribers. They can charge. They've been doing this. They've got the clicks. They got they can prove that they're effective. You got nothing to show those companies. Why in the world would those companies give you money when they can give them money? So if your goal is to turn it into a business, I think you're going to fail. You're also not going to be the personality in front of the camera because you're thinking money. You got to be you. You got to have fun. You got to be you, not play a role. Just do what you do. Do it well. Do it with passion. If it turns out to be good, amazing. If people start watching, amazing. You'll find your format. Might be lessons, might be funny videos, might be funny lessons. It might be gear videos where you're underwater. Who knows? You might have a pet snake. Yes, Andy, take all this down. Okay, but underwater gear videos. That one's free, Andy. But it needs to be something that's uniquely you and that you love doing. So many people can't even work in front of the camera, and they have to script it too much, and then it comes across as complicated. Plus, then the video becomes. Imagine you have to write this down. We know some friends of ours who have to do this, and they're great at it, but they can't do a video a day. It's impossible if you're scripting it, reading it, editing it together. So it needs to be uniquely you, and then try it. But don't do it for the money and possibly turning it into a career. I think for every YouTuber, it turned into that once it took off. But you can't say, I want to be a YouTuber. I never said I want to be a YouTuber. I never said I want to be an influencer. I also want to point out that when I got into this, I knew everything about the audio part. I mean, I had produced countless albums. I'm running a recording studio. I have a dual major from Berkeley. I know what I'm talking about. So there's no learning curve on that end. Because why in the world would you talk about recording guitars if you literally have never actually recorded guitars on an album or on a real song? You know what? Why would you think your opinion matters to the people out there and is a valid opinion if you actually don't have a way to back up that you know what you're talking about? Just to give you an idea, if you're saying, oh, this looks good, I want to do a channel, I want to have that quality, I'm going to just give it to you straight up, okay? Can I do this?
Absolutely, of course, that's what I want.
Okay, so we're looking at a microphone. That's $2,000. That's why what you're hearing sounds good. Going into, I don't know, an expensive interface for $2,000. The camera and lens that I'm looking into, which is why it looks nice, is $5K. It's on a slider right now, which doesn't matter because it's not moving. But that's another $1,500. The light that makes me look so beautiful is $5,500. And that's only one of the lights. The light that actually is making my head kind of nicely stand out, that's another $1,300. Can you do this all cheaper? Yes. But the point is, if you're looking at this saying, oh, that's the quality I want, you're not going to go out and drop 10K on a single camera setup that looks this good. That grows. And don't think I'm going to start the channel and make money and put all the money in guitars because I like guitars so much. No, if you want the channel to grow, you're going to put your money in this kind of stuff. Am I a camera freak? No, I'm not. I actually don't care about cameras. I have over 40 of them, I think, by now. but because I have to have them for certain, each camera, each setup has a certain function. But when you see those channels that are those makeup channels that look insane, or Red and Link in the morning, or Andy's videos look killer, all these channels that do a good job. If you look at Andy's setup, his whole freaking ceiling is just a maze of lights and microphones and outlets. It's not as easy as it looks in front of the camera, and your life is not guitars and gear when it gets to that level. So, can it be fun? Yes. But it is a job. Again, up until 2 o'clock, I'm on the phone. I'm doing office work. Same with you, Andy. Right?
I'm actually on the flip side. I tend to do my videos in the morning when the kids are in kindergarten, and then do the afternoon with the admin. For my life, it works a lot better. But you're absolutely right, is when I want to play guitar, I often can't.
That's probably another thing to say to the people out there. If you want to do this, don't have kids. Don't do it. You don't need to comment on that, Andy. It's okay.
I'm glad I had them. I wouldn't be without them. But right now, as we were recording, one of them was spraying the garden hose on the window, and that's going to come out on the recording. So,
you have killer kids. They're great. No, of course, I have kids, but I mean, that adds.
I think what Henning's saying, if I may, is that it's being in any project that requires 24/7 attention. Like being a parent is 24/7. Having a YouTube channel to the level at which Henning does it is 24/7, even more. I know it sounds ridiculous to say more than 24/7, but it really, really is, because people should sleep in those 24/7s. And I've been with Henning when he hasn't slept for hours, and it's actually when you excel at what you're doing. But it's part of the job. It's like being in a band. If you've been in a band and you're all fully dedicated, then you live and breathe it. And it seems to be similar to what Henning does.
When we go on vacation, which we haven't been in 2 years, I have to produce 14 videos for those 2 weeks ahead of time, schedule them, and in that time, I should have my phone off, But in that time, the videos come out. So I'm in the hotel room on some island in a beautiful hotel with my lovely lady, and I'm checking comments and answering questions about pedal order. It's always there. And I don't think the internet forgives if you're not.
I do still think there's space enough on YouTube for another gear channel. However, as Henning said, there needs to be special. You need to do something that nobody else is doing, and you need to have a whole lot of luck. I'm only here because of a whole lot of luck. And I truly believe that I got the last wave of channels that were potentially successful. And
yeah,
I'm still here.
You can't, and the thing is, because it's about people and not about, YouTube is the thing where TV was corporate. You can buy yourself into that, you can buy advertising. YouTube is a thing where everyone's got a voice. So if you try to go and buy your way into it by, let's do some Facebook ads for my channel, let's push it on blah, 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 people see this and think, well, that's a paid for channel. And I'm not saying buying views, but let's say you placed advertising on TV or YouTube or Facebook, whatever, for your channel. Come and see my channel. Well, that's not the guy in his living room doing this. We want the private guy. We want the guy who is himself. It's like when people watch me, I say what I want to say. And my mom walks through the picture, or like in the Line 6 pod video, my cats are fighting. That's all in there. It's like, it's a sitcom. And it is not a corporate thing. I'm not beholden to anyone. Is that how you say that?
It is how you say that.
Yeah. And people appreciate that. A voice apart from the industry. And so, no, you can't buy clicks. No, you can't advertise for it, because then all of a sudden it becomes a corporate thing. And I don't think people appreciate that. So hard work, being the person that people will watch. Now, Andy is more watchable than I am by a bigger group of people. I definitely polarize more. And I'm lucky enough to have 114,000 people that are not completely turned off by my stupid sense of humor. Or who seem to get it.
I think it's actually a strength. I think what you're saying is you play your strengths, and that is by being you. And it kind of clicks back to another episode in this series where I'm talking to David Wallerman. He says exactly the same thing. One final thing, and can we roll it up in 2 minutes before my camera decides it's going to shut down?
Totally.
Gear Street is an event you put on in your house, and you invite YouTubers from pretty much all over the world to join you and make videos together, invite brands, bring them all together. It's totally independent. It's totally out of the pockets or hands of any companies. You going to do it again?
Well, this year's a little bit tricky, but I'll try to make it happen. It might be the only thing this year. So after having come up with the whole concept, and then we did GitCon, and they kind of took it away and made it sucky. I took it to Toman, and we did TGU, which was great, and Toman's doing a great job with that, but I wanted it to be more independent terror. I didn't want any company to tell me how my event should be run. And so I ran my own. And I do think Toman did a great job with it, no question, but I needed it to be just the channels, just the brands, no one else. And really friendly, and I mean, it's so weird that all those YouTubers, except you, Andy, now know my mom.
Oh, I know your mom.
It's like I'm running into Tom Quayle at the Ibanez booth, and Tom Quayle say hi to your mom. Like, what? It's so weird. He literally hi. Or Dave Friedman's like, hey, say hi to your brother. I'm like, it's so weird at NAMM to run into all these guys, and everyone's like, yo, say hi to your mom, and it's so weird. And my mom on YouTube, on Facebook, interacting with everyone. But yeah, that happened, and it's probably not going to be possible to do Gear Street with the US channels. We don't know where flights go. We don't know where any of that stuff's going to end up this year. But we might do a smaller version, maybe just with the European channels, plus Andy if he makes it. Who knows? But nothing is written in stone, but that would be the only way we can do it. I don't think we can fly in Film Ignite and all the Americans, given that we don't know how much flights will be, whether they'll be canceled last minute or not. It's too much of a gamble.
Henning, thank you. From the heart of my bottom and the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for sharing your secrets and information with everybody. The people watching this, I hope that you've learned something, and I hope you've learned a little bit about Henning and what he does and how he does it and why he does it. Behind all this money, behind all the silly jokes and the funny faces and all the wondrous things that Henning has, there's a really good musician with a good business head, and her name's Leslie, and she operates the cameras. Now, Henning knows what he's doing. If you have any inkling of starting a YouTube channel, make sure you watch at least some of his videos and take some tips, and then find your way of doing the same thing. Anything to add to that, Henning?
No, don't. Model trains. You want to make videos about model trains, playing the harmonica, how to groom your puppy, milking cows the modern way. See, there's so many topics I can give you that don't interfere with our business.
True. There is that.
Skiing for grandmas.
How to say goodbye at the end of a YouTube. How do you end your videos, Henning?
Animals at the end.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Henning. Bye-bye.